Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here. Welcome back to another Cardano video. Today I'm joined with two familiar faces. They've been on the channel, I think twice before, maybe three times. I can't fully remember. Rob and Josh from the Cornucopias team. They have had lots of updates lately. They also have a custom dome sale coming up. So we'll go through all of that. Timestamps below as usual. Rob, Josh, very welcome back to the channel.
It's good to see you, man. How have you been doing?
I'm doing good, yeah. Keeping busy, working on a few different things through the bear market, but good time to get some stuff done.
Yeah.
Yourselves, I'm sure you're very busy.
Yeah, we've been slammed. A lot going on, but it's fun. So, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I suppose what most people are going to come here to find out about is the custom domes. We'll get that out of the way, and then afterwards we'll see what else has been going on with you guys as well. So first up, custom dome sale is, and I actually have this. Actually, tell me what a custom dome is first.
Sure. We have, in Cornucopias, we have our themed lands, which are more of in-game, and that's going to be more about the game that we are curating and making for everyone. And so there's a variety of different themed lands where you could build a house, but they have limitations. So what you can do on those are a little bit more limited. With the custom domes, those are the, you know, it's basically a bubble. So for anybody that hasn't seen our some of our videos, it's land encased in a bubble in space, basically. And when you're inside it, you don't notice the bubble because it's glass. But from the exterior, that's kind of what it looks like. It's really aesthetically pleasing and cool. But inside the custom domes is where you'll be able to have and use building kits. And so we've got a variety of building kits basically that are available. And for anybody that purchases these first NFTs, they will get all of the building kits that we have presented in the deck, which I believe is a tropical building kit. So you could set up a tropical based theme. You could use a PvP battle kit to have the assets like turrets and guns and bunkers and things like that. Yeah. Yeah, man. So you, like, for example, you as an influencer, you could say to your community, hey, we're going to run a capture the flag game today, and tickets are $10 and the prize is X. And we're looking forward to have you guys come and play. Let's see who wins. You know, you could do something fun like that, whatever. You could monetize and create a business around your dome. So that's a pretty exciting. There's also a concert kit as well. And so we'll be adding new kits in the future that people could buy, but all of these kits will come, these ones presented in the deck will come with this first NFT purchase. And so we'll be improving and adding assets to those kits over time, but basically it's just a downloadable kit. And then you use our building tools to build out what you want to create. So it's really all about creating, exploring, having fun, and even building a business.
Nice. Yeah, and that was actually a question I had on my list was, do I have to pay? So if I buy a custom dome, do I then have to pay to build on that, or the builder kit, I can build an unlimited within my own dome?
With the builder kit, well, I wouldn't say unlimited. The reason there could be limitations, let's say you got a large property and you wanted to put 2,000 of like a really expensive item that expensive by what I mean there is that it has a lot of information in it. So there will be semi limitations, but that's for performance purposes. That's in any game with the, you know, based upon the amount of information that has to travel. But more to your point, yeah, the domes are going to come with those assets in the builder kit, and you don't have to pay anymore to utilize that. You will be able to utilize the builder kit and all of the assets within it to build out whatever it is you want. And you can mix and match. So, for example, there's a commercial dome, a commercial building kit where you can build out a commercial building where you make an art gallery or an office building or whatever it may be. You can build that and then have a concert experience right next door, and then a PvP experience over here. It's mix and match the assets, which allows for a lot of creativity.
Okay,
we're building the tools now, so you don't need to have any programming experience or anything like that. Just simply drag and drop.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that was another one I was hoping we could do that, have a mixture within one dome. So obviously if you have the smaller domes, you might only build one theme within there, but if you get some of the larger ones, you have the ability to build different parts within that. So I suppose just in case people haven't seen it, this was on Copi Cafe, and I'll leave links to your latest Copi Cafe down below. This was a walkthrough that some of the devs came on to actually show. This is something you've actually built in one of what will be a custom dome, isn't it?
Yeah, this is them utilizing the builder tool to build out a space, and utilizing the building kits as well to create a space in an epic-sized custom dome.
Yeah, and I would say for people, what you're watching there won't do justice to the graphics on Copi Cafe. It looks a lot better than me streaming my screen here or anything
Yeah,
like that.
it's tough to stream and have it look amazing. But yeah, if you go to Copi Cafe, that looks a lot more like what the reality is. And even that's about 80% of what you would see if you were actually playing the game.
Yeah, this is one I'll let play in the background while we can still talk about them as well. This gives a view of the different teams, I suppose, that you can build within the custom domes. So
yeah, so that there's a modern commercial builder kit and the tropical paradise kit. So that's a great example of what I was saying earlier. This is the type of, you get palm trees and flowers and bushes and sand and all of these things that if you have bubble jets, you could put them in there. But if you don't have bubble jets, then you might want to go get some. But and then this is an example of jet chickens, one of our friends in the industry that did some pretty amazing NFTs, and we're just showcasing what a NFT gallery could look like if you built that out.
Yeah, and you're going to be allowing other NFT projects come in as well. I don't know, was that the last Copi Cafe that was discussing?
Yeah. So you saw that giant 3D robot there, robot jet chicken. That was a 3D model that we translated from a 2D JPEG image of a jet chicken. And so we were announcing a collaboration with Cardano NFT projects where we can help bring revenue and do an NFT sale combined together. We do a 3D model replica of whatever asset they want to choose that they haven't sold yet. So, for example, some sort of new NFT that they want to design, we make a limited series and we call it the Collectors Club. So this is obviously the concert experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, we just missed where the music kicks in. People need to watch this afterwards, where they can put the audio up as well, where you see where the music kicks in with the light show and everything all synced in time. It's really good.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it looks simulated here, but all those objects and all those components, those lights, they are in real time reacting to whatever music's being played.
Yeah, so there's some brilliance there. It's that literally the lights are reacting to the bass drum in a different way than they're reacting to a snare and the the pitch and tempo of the music. So it's pretty cool. It's reactive lighting.
Okay, and the people that we see there, obviously they're just, we'll call them dummy people just for the video, but that would depend on how many people are actually there live as well, wouldn't it? They would be individual, we call them real people, but it's people in the metaverse. Yeah.
So some of these were just AI programmed guys running, but in actuality right now, you can run around in this land and shoot guns. So this is fully built out space. We did some AI to demonstrate the use of this space, but in actuality, what we'll show in the next Copi Cafe is some running around in this space shooting guns.
Yeah. So this
demo that it's real.
That last sequence there is actually our devs playing the game, and if you look at the bottom, we've got this health system that's going on there that I don't think a lot of people actually picked up on. Yeah.
So it actually is a proper game within that dome, and so anyone could actually create these games. You could have 100 different versions of this, just different people create them. Like I could create one and you could create one. Anyone, like you mentioned, an influencer could create this, but anybody can buy a domain and build whatever they want in it. So it would all be versions of this game, would it?
Yes.
Yeah, and this is kind of the MVP fighting the battle zone. It's more than a battle zone because this is exactly the same space actually as the art gallery and the music. That they're all kind of set in the same dome. But yeah, this is the basic. This is the minimum that you need. So at the moment we only have one gun and one look and feel for the characters. But obviously we were building up to this demonstration. We're actually actively working now on different guns and different effects. You've seen the turrets, you've seen the drones. What you can't actually see here, although it is in this picture, on the left there is where you are there, that entire the box where you go and there's a crate there where you can go in and get some extra goodies out of it. But it acts more than just I'm now exposed while I'm topping up my ammo and whatever. It actually opens up and it becomes part of your defense. So there's loads of touches within this game that obviously is not on show here that will kind of reveal themselves as the game's built out. And then pretty soon when we go to Vegas in a few weeks, we'll have this game on demonstration and people will be able to come over, pick up controllers and actually play the game just like this was played. Now, if you press play, you will then go on and see what it actually looks like when you've got player controlling them. So this is player controlled.
Okay. And will you have that? I'm not going to make it to Vegas, but will you have this exact game for Rare Bloom as well, where I will be?
No, sorry, man. We are not doing a booth at Rare Bloom.
They'll be on laptops. I'm pretty sure we could probably find a quiet space and let you have a go at it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. If we could do that, that's definitely an option.
I'll hold you to that one because I'd definitely like to have a go at that. So that is the custom domes. How the sale process works, like before, there's different days for different sizes. Do you want to go through that?
Sure. Yeah. Day one's Copious Domes, and that's going to be 3 different sales for our 3 different tiers. So the tiers are OG, NFT, OG, then NFT holders, and then the general public, open to all. And so that's what the tiers are. And then day 2 will be the epic domes and the large domes. That'll be Saturday. So day 1 is this Friday. Day 2 is Saturday. And then day 3 is Sunday. And Saturday and Sunday have the most amount of sales as they're doing 2 different sizes each day with the 3 tiers. So gives us a lot to do over the weekend.
I think what the way the tiers are managed and created is via our Discord. So we've created this tech ourselves. The OG role is actually a role within Discord, and then we have the landowners and the flying vehicle owners. They get a role as well within Discord, and then the 3rd tier is open to the public. But we had to we've invested heavily in our own minting technology to withstand the big demand that we've seen over the last few months, and some of our previous sales. They've been over with it, 20 seconds, and the sales have gone through. But that's the due to how good our technology is at being able to handle that demand.
Yeah, I suppose there's one thing for people who mightn't have got into the last NFT 2-3 sale, that you've made a lottery as part of it now as well, because it was a race who had the fastest connection. I know in the last land sale I was using Eternal for the first one, trying to get in, and only realized after that it's slower to connect up than NAMI actually is. So you've kind of taken that, I couldn't call it an issue, but it's not really an issue, out of the equation.
Yeah, with the feedback, there's a lot of users said, look, I'm not very fast at copying and pasting my password, and it's not very fair to people with potentially slow connections. So we've taken on that feedback, and we now think that we've come up with a really fair minting process.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of improvements made based upon feedback each time. We're always trying to make it better and better. And I think that, really proud of our tech. It's amazing. Some of the best tech in the space. it really works well. We've had a lot of great feedback on it.
Yeah, I think one of the criticisms we also get is we've done a lot of mints over the last few months, but if you look at the mints that we've done, 2 of those mints were free. We gave our OG supporters a free bubble jet. We had issues with a very early mint with our Javelin. We gave that away for free, and that was worth over $1 million of NFTs that we gave away for free. And while we were developing and testing our new minting technology, we've done 3 charity mints. So these charity mints were roughly round about 10 ADA each. And in purchasing the NFT to tree, we actually paid for trees to be planted in Africa and in Canada. So 5 of our 7 mints have actually been free or charity mints.
Yes, but you led me on to my next topic, which was there was some threads going around the community about how liquidity is low and should you guys be doing another sale right now. I know you touched on this and went fairly in depth in it on Copi Cafe, but for people who haven't seen Copi Cafe, what would be, I suppose, your response to that?
Sure. Yeah, it's a valid. To some extent, it's a very valid complaint by some of the other projects out there, and we hear that complaint and adjusted and removed, I think, 4 or 5 NFT mints from the remainder of the year. We can do those next year or at another time, but we're trying to delay some of those and then just really hit the ground, hunker down and build. Not as if we've never been building. Every NFT sale we've done is something that we had to produce for the game. So that's the good news there, is it's like we're building something that is also building out our deliverable, right? But when it comes to liquidity, I think, so we listen to the community, but also there's a lot of people that are, I think the argument is a little off, that there's not enough liquidity. Either way, we remove some sales. We hear you guys. We're trying to partner with and come alongside with our collectors program, collectors club as well, where the NFT projects can work with us and we can help them to generate some revenue. And we'll take Copi token for that. And those will be much smaller type sales. But, for the liquidity point, there's a lot of ADA in circulation. So it's kind of a tough argument to say that. And also, this is a space where we can all compete together. We're not the direct competitors of NFT projects that are doing 10,000 unique NFTs. The people they're competing against is more of where the liquidity fight is, because it's like, I'm doing 10,000 unique JPEG NFTs. This guy over here is doing those. That's not our model. We're building a game. It's a totally different business and cost structure, right? So I think overall, it's important for us to think about, what do we want to happen in the Cardano ecosystem, and how do we want to see that evolve? Because some of those guys are looking at us as their direct competition, and we're not. And the reality is, eventually, we're going to be bringing a lot of new liquidity into the market. So I think we should be supporting all projects, not beating them down with complaints about liquidity. But that being said, we hear those, and we backed off of a lot of sales. So I think we're trying to work with everybody here, and but I also want everybody to understand that what happens when we bring 100,000 new users into the Cardano ecosystem because people are now starting to play our game. What happens then? Are we going to celebrate that we've brought a ton of new liquidity in the market? So it's a tough argument for me, but I do understand where people are coming from, and we do want to hear. So we adjusted our roadmap.
Yeah, and I think we build all the assets within our game. It's not cheap to build, and nor have we said it's going to be cheap, and nor is it compulsory for people to have NFTs to play Cornucopias. Cornucopias will be a free game, but we have over 40 people working on the project, and this is why you can see the quality of what we've delivered so far. We've just introduced NFT staking. This is a non-custodial, so the NFTs stay in your wallet, and the NFT staking that we've been built with our partner Drip Drops. This is functionality on Cardano that any project can utilize. It's not just something that we built for ourselves. And so we bring in lots of innovative tools to the ecosystem.
Yeah, I suppose I see where some projects are coming from, but I also see that they're looking at it in the wrong way as well in some ways, because secondary liquidity is not the same as people who would have funds reserved to buy mints first. Like people who have their funds sitting aside that they will get involved in a mint at the first time aren't the same people that are going to be in buying on the secondary markets. There's a big difference there. Obviously, there's some crossover in that. And when you guys go onto the secondary market, some people will buy, but it's not taking the direct liquidity out of the secondary market. And it's a balancing act. It's good to see you responded by taking out some of the other mints that were to come later this year. And I presume your year roadmap is fairly secure at this point, or after this custom dome sale anyway, in terms of what you need to develop the next phase?
With what we've done, we've got revenue for 1.5 to 2 years right now that we can utilize with our existing team and add about 5 more people that we're needing. So we can slow up on that a little bit, but the reality is we can't slow up on that too much, because the next phase of development is really doubling the size of the team and infrastructure, because then the game is live. And so when the game is live, there's a lot more at stake in terms of security, infrastructure, serving up a lot of data, continuing to build, all while people are playing the game and finding issues here and there or whatever. So there's a debugging process for sure where we want to get it to the ultimate quality. But yeah, that requires a whole new team and scope. And so we're going to have to continue to raise money. If you look at the costs of a lot of these AAA games, I mean, some of them end up being 300 million down the line. Now, obviously, and this is important, people say, well, you guys say yours is going to cost 50 million. How are you going to do it for that when this AAA did it for 300? It's a moving target. Your cost changes the entire amount of time that you are in production. And so what is the actual deadline where you say, okay, now the game is done? Well, for us, that's going to be 10 years out. We're going to continue to build and build and build and build and build. So it is a moving target. But yeah, to get to a place where we feel really comfortable with the first release, well, that'll be much less, because that's going to be the alpha version at 2023. But is that, the version that you count as the cost? So, the point is there, the essence of the point is it is very expensive to build a AAA quality game. And we're building a AAA quality game, and that's huge. So we need to think about what can that do for the Cardano ecosystem as we bring tons of new gamers in and represent our community well. I think in a lot of ways, people should be celebrating that because it adds diversity and new inflow to the ecosystem. But 100%, we hear you. It's not the best timing to run a ton of NFT sales, so we backed off on that.
Yeah, and look, as you say, if you guys can produce what was shown in the video that we showed here earlier, showed without the sound, if you can produce something like that, the amount of people that will attract into the ecosystem will be massive. And they don't just come in for the game, they will come in and get exposure then to Cardano and to the Cardano ecosystem overall. So it's all about a long-term game. On the land as well, so there is the custom domes, everything we've talked about there, the actual land that people bought before, which is part of the cities or the districts, or I'm not sure what terminology put on it, but these are the ones that will all be in beside each other, what people have traditionally seen in metaverses or online games. When, or do you have a land claim timeline on that, when people can actually come in and choose their land on the game?
Those should start in early 2023. And that'll just go sector by sector. So that's going to be a process where we release one sector at a time. And that'll be based upon, so you can go at the rarities basically determine who gets to go pick their plot of land first. So a mythic will pick first and then down from there. But that's kind of how that's going to work.
Okay. And the districts, so the land that we have, full disclosure, I own some land within it as well. So we will always want the disclosure. But the ones that I have, when I go to pick what districts can I pick from, or is there one, or is there multiple districts I'll be able to choose from?
Yeah, so that'll just depend on the timing of release. So if you see one that we're showcasing and we're releasing right then and there, then and you decide, hey, this is where I want to be, and you're in a mythic, for example, then you're going in with the other mythics to pick that land. But I do want to disclose right now that we're not 100% that's the release strategy. We've discussed a variety of options. We just need to fully get that solidified before we anchor that down as actual fact, because there's a lot that goes into that. But that is the method we're looking at releasing land with.
I think the challenge for us is each of those sectors. So we have currently we have 12 zones that are coming eventually, but at the moment we're working on 3 of those zones, and the zone is made up to 10 different sectors. So we have 3 zones of 10 sectors. So each of the sectors are roughly 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers. So these are huge maps. So we need to build 30 maps. Now, we could just create a 2D or a 3D representation of that and say, well, this is where all the land's going to go, and we can do that. But on UE5, we're going a different route. We're building out the maps. We're making sure that when you get to choose your land, that we've tested through that map, make sure it's solid and that it makes sense, rather than having to backtrack later on. So there is a challenge in going that route. However, the end product should be a lot more quality, a better quality product, because you will be buying land that is actually there, rather than just the 2D representation.
Okay, yeah, a lot of times what we see is you see the map, or the coordinates are part of the NFT. When you buy the NFT, it tells you where it is on the map, but the map hasn't even started to be built yet. It's just an actual image or a plan of what the map or area is going to be. And that's another question I got from the community was, will the current generic NFTs be changed then to, once we claim land, will they be changed to one to show the land we actually own, or will it just be metadata update? And again, you mightn't know this fully just yet. So
it may not be a perfectly specific image to that exact plot of land, because in a lot of cases, the land's not going to be built out yet. There may not be a home there, or different assets, right? So in that case, it would probably be a few different variables that we would use showcasing this themed area, but that's not definitive yet. So we're still working through some of those details. But yes, they will turn in an NFT for a new land plot NFT.
Okay, and one you're probably sick of, but it was asked a few times to me, is when gameplay, or the first version on desktop, so not just the mobile but on the desktop, when will someone be able to walk around like we've seen the devs doing in the Copi Cafe version?
Well, that'll happen at CNFT Con, so I'm sorry you're not going to make it at there. But yeah, so we are looking to have people playing and running around in our game at CNFT Con. Now, is that the general public? No, that's a very controlled sample, but we will scale it out over time. So the next probable release to more people would be around the alpha version in early 23. And then we'll just we'll open it up to new groups over time, because the testing process it's quite a lot. Like you've got a lot of variables that need to be tested. You're trying to work on security. You're also trying to work on anything that somebody always finds, or a weird situation, or a little bug within the physics of the game that needs to be fixed. So that will happen over time, and we'll gradually release to more and more people and get more feedback as well. Yeah. So that's a huge way that we involve our community.
The security side of it is the main. I don't want to say it's a stumbling point, because it's not. It's very easy for us to create a game as an executable on a desktop. We had our first racing game shown back in June in Consensus, but that version, because like Josh said, was controlled on a PC and on a laptop, we knew there wasn't going to be any spammers or hackers that were going to try and pull that executable apart and look at the code and look for vulnerabilities. So creating the executables is very, very, very simple for us, but we're now creating the APIs and the security measures that will be built in for that, because you can guarantee as soon as our game goes live, we're going to have 1,000 eyes not looking to play the game, but looking at how to exploit it.
Yeah, especially when you have play to earn features and stuff like that, it's worthwhile for hackers to come in and find ways to drain it. So security, like anything in crypto, is extremely important. Good to hear that you're placing such emphasis on it as well. Another final question I had from the community was, so you've built all the in-game assets yourself. What was inspiration or motivation for this that made you go that route, or the type of game that you have? Why that route?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Josh, do you want to? Yeah, so we know how to build games. Within a month of us putting the team together, when Josh and myself got together last year, we created our first prototypes within 3 to 4 weeks. We used Unreal Engine, we used the Epic marketplace, and we used off-the-shelf assets, and we were able to very, very quickly produce games of a fairly high standard. But those were built for a reason, so that we can go off to and show them to other people that we can actually build games, and then look at people to come over and support us. So we put this in our white paper, and we said, to begin with, we're going to use off-the-shelf assets. And then when we build the team up, we're going to build all the assets ourselves, because we're looking at longevity here. What we found is that everybody that was building on UE4 and on Unity at the time, the majority of projects that I've seen in Steam and that were out there were using the same 5 or 6 different studios, and the games were looking the same. There was kind of different gameplay, but they were all the same characters, all the same backgrounds. Now, UE5 is brand new, so anybody can come out within a few weeks and have an amazing looking game. There's already sets there. There's this huge New York, well, not the New York set, the one from the Matrix. There's a whole city there that people can use for free. But people have never seen these before, so these are amazing looking graphics. But you fast forward 2-3 years from now, where everybody's using those same graphics, games will not stand out. And we have a lot of supporters that are using NFTs in our game, and we don't want them to suddenly wake up one day and see our game that looks exactly the same as other games and thinking, well, what have I got these NFTs for, because it looks like others. So we made a almost from day one a commitment that when we have the team, we're going to build all these assets by hand, and we know it's going to cost more and it's going to take longer to build. But this is how Cardano's built. You don't have all the features there now. You build using Agile, so you can release them as you go along. But you know that at the end, when Cardano is fully built and Vassal's here, and then we have the governance side of it, it's going to be a much better quality than something that's potentially rushed.
Good answer. Yeah, I see where you're going, and you mentioned Vassal at the end. Hopefully we'll have that in the next 2-3 weeks maybe, but there's other factors on that. Anything else that you guys want to touch on? I think the main thing I wanted was the custom domains and an update on where you are. Anything else that you feel would be good to put out there too?
Sure. I would say that one of the ethos of crypto, a big part of it, aside from transparency, which Rob and I try to deliver on that as well, just by having a weekly show, Copi Cafe, right, where we tell people everything that's going on with what we're doing. But aside from transparency and the open monetary policy and decentralization, a big part of the ethos of crypto is this community idea. And so while we really believe in our vision and what we're doing, we also have community that we want to listen to. And some of that community is CNFT projects and different projects that are building on Cardano and even other chains, right? And so we hear the community and we are really trying to listen. And we also have to believe in our vision. And so I think it kind of comes together and we meet and compromise. And that's what we've done. But that's our way of saying, yeah, we really value the voices within our community, whether it's a project, a builder, or somebody that's just in our Discord and they're participating and they're just really, excited about what we're doing and what we're building. And we love our community. And so we want to hear what you're saying. We value the feedback, and over time, the idea is that we've cultivated a educated community about what we're doing in Cornucopias, and a positive community and a creative community. And over time, we gradually give them more and more power and vote and all of that in what we're doing. So we're gradually moving towards this fully decentralized project, but that's going to take a long time. So I wanted to say that because community is really important to us. So we're really thankful for all you guys. We're thankful for you letting us on the show, and please come check out what we're doing with the custom dome sale. We're having a lot of fun, and we really are delivering real results here. So it's fun to watch.
Yeah, community is something that projects don't put enough emphasis on sometimes, especially in a bear market. You need your core community that believes in the project, and they'll be there even for motivation some days, to motivate the project to keep going, keep building, because for some, they mightn't have their roadmap as secured as you guys do, and they need to get out there every day. Well, you need to get out there every day as well, but they need to keep pushing, keep building, and it's an important part of the overall project, I think. Rob, any final thoughts from yourself?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, if you are fortunate to, and you can come over to Las Vegas, come over, play our games. Everything is real. And I'm sure that there'll be thousands of eyes there recording what we're doing. So people will see that everything we're building is real, but it will take time. Building a AAA game and the way we're building it is going to take, more than a couple of weeks to get it perfected, but it's all real. You come down and play. I look forward to meeting everyone.
Great. Well, if you guys have nothing else to add, I think we'll leave it there. There's other things I'd like to get into in another video, building economies within an actual game, have discussions on that sometime with your own game and even outside that, or how you plan to interact with the Cardano chain, with L2s. But that's too deep for today, but book me in for that conversation someday. Thanks very much for your time. I do appreciate it. Anyone new, subscribe, comment, any questions or anything below. I will leave links to Cornucopias down below as well. And thanks again, guys. I will talk to you soon.
Good to see you, man. Bye-bye.